Yo, what up? It's your boy, back it again for another video. So, today we're gonna be taking a look at the Inverse Space Maze. You can access this by using the Omnimon Sword icon. So, the rules for this mode is that you can clear it once per week, right? You can tap here in the little present box to see your current progression in case the game closes where you're doing it. The way that this works is once you get a reward, the rewards for one of the 15 levels this dungeon has, you can't get it again, right? And since this mode is available once per week, you can only clear one difficulty. You can like just skip difficulties ahead if you're stronger. But do not take this power recommendation seriously, okay? That's the first thing. It is a lot easier than the numbers incline you to do because of the buffs you can get during the gameplay. And since you have to do one difficulty per week, you're usually going to be ahead of the curve of the difficulty required for this. The rewards do get better as you proceed on levels, as you can see. So much so that the final few levels, they even have chances for you to get like rare eggs and then the legendary ones, which just drop better Digimon when you hatch them. That being said, let's just jump right in. Right when you start, you're gonna be greeted with the grid, right? There's a few things you should know before we start. This right here is the amount of buffs you have. Basically health, attack, defense, and speed. This here is the number of steps, or rather like block checks you can do. And this is just the level you're currently on, and the number of enemies on this floor. And down here are just the things you can pay for to use. I wouldn't say that any of them are ever worth it or necessary. If you probably tried to do this on your own, you maybe failed, and there could be like a few things that you need to know, but you never need to buy these, okay? It's completely unnecessary. Down here is the skills that you're gonna be obtaining through this. We're gonna get to that later. And over here, it's just the generic inventory. First thing you should do, right, whenever you tap any of these squares, you're gonna either find an enemy or, well, another enemy. Or you can find the stats or buffs, right, or just random scenery, which is the worst one. Right? The general idea here is that every level you should instantly look for the 4 enemies that there are on each level. One tip that probably helps you a lot with that is that the enemies have the orange or the red squares around them, and no enemy can be on those squares if the red squares are showing. So you can just ignore those and tap away to the next one, right? And as you saw earlier, the difficulty level for this level was like 750,000, right? Or 740,000. When you tap on the first enemy, it's actually 160, which is a lot weaker than the game usually led you to believe. And that's basically how they like try to balance this mode. If you keep doing the same thing I did here with every level, just checking all the spots and then fighting all the enemies, you will usually be, like, through this bonuses, the buffs and stat scalings, be stronger than the opponents. So now that I won the battle, you can see the buffs. Down here is 7% health and 7% attack. These get applied instantly. So if I keep fighting the other guys, they're gonna also give me their own buffs. And you can see their health bar here, because sometimes you can find a bomb that when you tap on it, it reveals the squares nearby and damages enemies by a percentage of their health. Doesn't matter too much, the grand scheme of things, but you know, something to be aware of. I'm gonna go and skip ahead to when I fight the last enemy, because nothing, not much changes until then. Another thing you should know is that when you defeat the Guardian of each floor, this box is gonna drop, right? You can check it right away, I don't think it matters too much. Whenever you check the box, there will be a key, a skill, and then the other rewards from depending on the difficulty you're in. So picking up the key instantly opens the path to the next floor, but I would suggest not going to just yet. First, get rid of the rest of the enemies. So once you're in the last battle, you tap on your screen, and lo and behold, they're gonna start revealing the spaces you haven't checked one by one. Which means it saves you from all the random clicking on the scenario, right? And first thing, just collect all the steps, right? And then the buffs, those will be good. The magnifying glass just shows you where the enemy that drops the chest is, and this is the bomb I talked about earlier, right? But since everything is already revealed, there's no point in touching any of these, because it's not gonna do anything. And then we can move on to the next floor. Now, on the second floor, let me just explain something that got away, right? You can see that I dropped a skill down here on this menu, right? And these are basically assist skills, I guess I would call them. On this system, you basically, for every boss you defeat, you're gonna be obtaining one of the skills, and when you select one of your Digimon, you can add the skill to happen after their own skill. The limitations to this are some attacking skills can only be followed by other attacking skills, so there's a Funnymon skill cannot be used after Orgamon's damaging skill, but if Polydramon uses her buff, you can use this afterwards, right? And as you play, there will be other skills. I would suggest just looking for a decent AoE. Like, I would say that one of the better options would be Metamon's AoE, but that's basically like what you do in this menu. I'll skip ahead to when I'm a bit later on the floor, so you guys can have a better look at the variety that you can find here. Okay, so now that a little bit of floors have passed, the rules for this, again, are very simple, right? For any single target or AoE skill, you can link with any single target or AoE skill for damage. But for supporting skills, you can link a support skill that targets your whole team with a single target one, but you cannot link AoE heal or anything that targets your whole team with a single targeting support skill. Okay. I believe that it's a little bit complicated, but if you just remember, oh, this is an attack skill, this is a supporting skill, and that's enough. And when you get into battle, what's gonna happen is, so the moment that I tap the skill, it's gonna be showing already the skill that's gonna show up after that. So when I use it, he does the skill normally, and then transforms into the other Digimon and uses their skill instead, right? And that's basically how it works. That way you can keep getting more skills for free, just get a lot of value out of the system. And just keep in mind that, like, for most of the floors here, if you just have a good AoE skill, that is more than enough. You're not gonna need a lot of other things. And yeah, just keep doing the system, like fight all the bosses, collect all the steps so you never run out. Because if you do run out, you're gonna have to stop and restart, and that's never good. And just keep going until you reach the 15th floor, which I'll catch up to you when I get there. Before I get to the ending, another thing you should know, I don't know if this matters that much, but it can come up. The side battles and the boss, you can easily tell them apart just based on the power level. Because all the other 3 battles, they have the same number, but the enemy that has the chest usually is a little bit stronger. So if you're trying to get skills early, just fight the strongest opponent. And if you're trying to get buffs, just fight the weaker ones. So now that we're at the end, it's been a while, okay? This mode takes a little bit to do. But at the floor 15, you just have to fight Paimon. He's at the advertised power level. But at this point, if you've done everything, your attack scaling is high enough that this fight really doesn't matter. It can be done on auto. You just gotta hang in there. And big boom. Big boom. You know, there's something actually kind of nice about seeing your Digimon transforming each other Digimon for this mode. It was like decent entertaining. But yeah. When you end the battle, the mode ends, and you can tap on the box, and those are your final rewards. And it shows you everything you've gotten from this. Wait, why am I here? That's the wrong window, bro. and that's basically it. It just ends the mode and it locks you out for until the next week's reset, right? And that's the end of the guide. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope this explained to you the best way to get through this one. And yeah, I'll see you guys around. Have a good one. Bye-bye.